I received the following letter. Quote, "My 8-year-old son Mark has always enjoyed school, but this year he's been doing a lot worse. For the past couple of days, he's even complained of a stomach ache and says he doesn't want to go to school at all. After asking a lot of questions, I found out that it's because of his teacher, Miss Green. He says she picks on him in class and she yells at the other kids all the time, always saying something unkind to them. I'm angry about this. Here she's supposed to be helping these kids and he hates school just because of her. I want to march down there and confront the teacher and make her stop this or talk to the principal. I'll change schools if I have to. I will not have my son exposed to this kind of abuse. What can I do here?" End quote. You are quite right that this is a miserable experience for your son. He wouldn't be complaining of a stomach ache and be asking to stay home from school if he weren't pretty unhappy there. So it's natural that you would want to protect him from this situation. But the first instinct of parents to protect their children is often not what their children really need. Let me show you what I mean. Let's suppose that what your son is telling you is true. It probably is. After all, you had to pull the story out of him. And that she is being unkind and unloving to him and the rest of the students in the class. If so, she is doing a lousy job as a teacher of young children. So, in your righteous indignation, you march down to the school and you confront that monster of a teacher and tell her that she is harming your son. And you insist that she stop it this minute. In the first place, if she is behaving in an unkind way, why is she acting that way? People behave badly because they're drowning, as we've discussed on many occasions. They're responding to the pain in their lives, to the pain of not having enough real love. And if someone is drowning, kicking and thrashing to keep their head above water, do you think they'll be able to stop their kicking and thrashing just because you tell them to stop? Miss Green is treating your son and the other children badly because it gives her a sense of power that temporarily fills her sense of emptiness when she doesn't feel loved. It's virtually an involuntary response. She doesn't do this on purpose. Then, when you go to the school and tell her that she's a terrible teacher, the only thing she'll hear is that you don't love her either. She'll feel even more unloved and empty. And it's likely that she'll respond by treating the children, including your son, even worse. It's very unlikely that your confrontation will help your son. The same would be true if you talked to the principal. He or she, the principal, would talk to the teacher in a confrontational way, and the same thing would happen. In addition, if you stomp down there to rescue your son, Mark will get the idea that when anything difficult happens, Dad will simply ride in on his white horse and save him. Now, that's very romantic and all, but it's not very practical because you won't be there to save Mark from everything for the rest of his life. Each time you save Mark, you make him a little more dependent and a little weaker. So, what can you do to help him? We'll talk about that in our next session.